Let's talk about the announcements because Veronica is going to be coming on here real soon. One, for you out there, are you becoming your greatest possible self? Of course you are, because you're tuned into this 12-hour live stream, and I want to support you however I can. So number one recommendation is keep coming back. Every Wednesday we're here. Subscribe to the podcast. I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can do that, and keep getting these episodes into your feed, into your space, into your mind, so you can grow yourself in all these different areas of life that are important to you. Number two, are you a guest who wants to get your message out to the world in a bigger way? If so, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Would love to see if you're a great fit for becoming your greatest possible self. Number three, here's the thing. Are you ready to go even deeper? Are you ready to work one-on-one with me or in a group to help you launch your podcast, to help you maximize your impact and truly be your greatest possible self? If so, let's talk. I want to help you however I can. Send me a message, chris@beyourgps.com. You can send me an email. You can find me on Instagram at IamMillionaireChris, Facebook.com/TH3Burns. Send me a message. Let's connect and see how we can grow together, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about the iTunes review of the week. This week, it's by C. Trippy, and C. Trippy says, great content and energy. I am a newbie, and I'm already improving what I do daily from the great content. Thank you. Thanks so much, C. Trippy. I appreciate you. And if you want to give us a review or subscribe or just get more episodes and more great content, go to beyourgps.com/iTunes or search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on the iTunes store. I look forward to staying connected with you and growing with you, okay? So, I'm going to be introducing Veronica in just a second here. Before that, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, be ready to take notes, because she's going to have tons of wisdom about clarity, tons of wisdom about how to grow yourself and truly move forward into your GPS. And make sure you stay all the way through till the end, because one idea has the power to change and transform the rest of your life. So you don't want to miss out on that one idea that really makes the biggest difference for you. So stay tuned, and let's introduce Veronica, and then we'll bring her on the screen. Veronica Rozenfeld is a CEO of You Rise Movement, accomplished speaker and clarity mentor. When you clearly know who you are and what is next for you, you rise to your greatness and step into your destiny. Veronica helps business owners and professionals build deep clarity of what is next for them, clarity that doubles their income and saves millions of dollars along with decades of their time and energy. She is privileged to advise entrepreneurs of multi-million dollar and small companies alike, corporate professionals, and everyone in between. Veronica helps people like you create a vision for your business and life and remove subconscious blocks from your childhood to instantly get you to the life you've always wanted. Being a fourth-generation intuitive, proud mom of two amazing kids, having a finance degree and over 12 years experience in corporate America, Veronica combines energy work, business advice, and her life experience in a unique process that works like a clock every single time. In 2017, Les Brown, one of the fathers of motivational speaking and inspiration and personal development, presented Veronica with the most outstanding life coach and energetic healer award of the year. So you can tell this woman is up to big, big things, and we're blessed to have her here with us today. Veronica, are you ready to rock the house, Superwoman?
Absolutely. I'm here.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here. I was just on your platform yesterday, sharing some inspirational messages, and it's just so awesome what we're doing. We met years ago at Marshall Weeder's event, and just how much we've grown over the last couple of years and really stepped into our power, stepped into who we are, and owning that is incredible. So I so acknowledge you for the growth that you have gone through, Veronica. It's really inspiring.
It's inspiring to see you too, and it's great minds think alike, because I always say that clarity is GPS to your success, and you said you have GPS you that comes, so here you go.
I love it. So aligned. So let's dive right into the theme of today, which is your message multiplied. What does that mean to you, Veronica? How has this concept of your message multiplied, how has that impacted your life?
Well, because when I start working, and it's interesting that it's kind of going down. So my very first clients were owners of multi-million dollar companies, and now I work in a group setting with more people. Mm-hmm. And I was asking universe and God, I said, well, isn't that supposed to be the other way around? And God said no, because those people, if you teach them, one of those people, they are on much bigger stages than you are. They are much more publicity than you are. So your message goes almost 100 times more, almost instantly. I'm like, I never thought about that. So
that's amazing. So it's like empowering the leaders. It's I think a lot of people want to be the celebrity, want to be in the spotlight, want to be the king or the queen. But what I've translated it to is I want to be the king or queen maker. I want to be the person like giving people power, helping them go shine their light and serve the world in such a bigger way, and not put the, it's not pressure, but not pretend like I do everything myself and I'm the savior of the world, because it really takes a community, it takes a village, it takes like a army of light workers, so to speak, to really make that difference. Are you still there?
The fact that I'm just a vessel of it.
Yeah, so you're just the vessel.
And I always tell people that, yes, you hired me, but I work for him. So whatever he says, that goes.
Right. I love it. Veronica. This is gold. So I want to dive into more. I mentioned in your intro who you are a little bit, but in your own words, tell us about who you are, what you stand for, and what your clients come to you for.
I stand for, when you clearly know who you are and what is next for you, you rise to your greatness. What do I mean by that? My favorite quote is that we are wired for greatness, but we are programmed for failure.
Wow.
John Shinn says that we are wired for greatness, but we're programmed for failure. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is that we want to be great, but then our society takes layers out of us. Like in my case, oh yeah, you can be amazing, but you are not allowed to channel at all. Let's put you on antidepressant at the age of 3, so you're gonna normalize yourself. Or you have to go to college, you have to do math, and I did all of those things, but none of them were real me. So I've listened to society. You can marry whoever you want as long as he's Russian and Jewish. And you can have as many kids as you like as long as it's a boy and a girl. You have to have a practical degree. I finished degree in finance in 4 years with no English and heavy dyslexia. Most people can't do that.
Wow.
And so I did all of that, and we owned the house, and we travel all over the world, and I had the privilege to go to restaurants where Miss Madonna visited, and I became even certified chef. But the point of that, I was miserable. And I never forget that moment in a car station, in a gas station, with my 2 toddlers in the back of my car, and my credit card would not go through once, twice, 3 times. And the reality that the divorce was real hit me that moment. And I asked myself, how in the world did I get here? And I quickly remember I have that habit, and you guys might see, like sometimes I go up and that's how I seek the answers, from upstairs. So I literally look up and I know exactly what I need to say next. And so I look up and I said, what am I supposed to do here? Why did I get myself there? And I clearly remember like how in 4 years I finished college, had a man of my dreams, dreams change sometimes, own a house, and had a corporate job. And so I knew that if I figure it out again, and this time being a system girl, create the system, not only I will have millions of people, not only I pull myself out, but most importantly, those toddlers in the back of my car, they will see that anything is possible. And those toddlers are not toddlers anymore. My 12-year-old built his own computer. I can even show you guys here. Oh, no, I'm not gonna show. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna show you because I have a charger. But he literally built a computer, like a huge screen with like all the lights and everything.
Wow.
And my 11-year-old already was on stage. It makes my clients cry when they saw her performance. Like she had transformational speech and her own original song, "Dreams Come True Because of You."
Wow.
So that's what motivates me. What motivates me is to help to realign people with their destiny, their power, and people come to me for breakthroughs. They achieve breakthroughs in their finances, quality of relationship, life of people. People of your level of success usually get double their income. People who were afraid to leave corporate start their business. People who struggled with relationships start dating. People who were dating start being in long-term relationship. People who were about to break up start moving in together and getting married. And the reason is I'm so eminent about clarity because the difference between clarity and goals. Goal is to be an interview right here, right? That would be a goal. The clarity is when this interview aligned with my destiny. Because then it creates so much more fulfillment. So
yeah, so the distinction is a goal is just something like that you say, hey, I'm going to make $10,000 this month. I'm going to, go on 3 dates, something like that, right? Like it's just a result. But clarity is actually having the result totally in alignment with your purpose, with your higher
big picture. So if I go on a date, I said, dear God, send me a date that prepares me for my husband. Mm-hmm. It's a very different date program.
Right.
Or, dear God, send me clients that align with my life purpose. And a lot of my clients kind of push me to do something that I didn't want to do before.
Right.
Because they push me to do something bigger. Mm-hmm. I used to be terrified of Zoom. Here we are. Mm-hmm. I used to be terrified of a lot of things. And so when you have the big pictures, it's much easier to overcome the fear. Mm-hmm. Because that's much easier to overcome the fear when you understand the big picture.
Wow. The big picture. I love it. So I want to dive back into your journey and talk about what was it, you use your intuition, you use spiritual gifts, and also clarity of the big picture. When did you start recognizing that these were your gifts to give to the world and be able to serve people with?
When did I think I surrendered. I was born with that, so I've always knew that. But at the moment when I surrendered to it, and I think because I was people who are healers, and you can resonate with that, people who understand that, who born with that, you come to the room happy and leave the room dirty, like unhappy, and you think something wrong with you, and you do it all the time, and you constantly depressed, and and then the people kind of know that you can do it for them, so they come and they energetically kind of dump their trash on you.
Right.
And then it's getting worse and worse and worse. And so nobody likes that. I didn't like that either.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to accept. So I was this weird girl, and by that time already divorced. And that I called myself intuitive coach, but then I didn't really was intuitive, and I wasn't really a coach, and I couldn't understand what I am, because I'm not your typical coach or your typical healer. I am something else. Mm-hmm. And I remember I felt like this deep stagnation in my life. And so I finally, after 6 unemployments, had a job. And as I had my corporate job, something was holding me back, and I knew that there is something from my marriage life that something. I basically in 5 months made all my dreams come true. I'm like, but there is something else, and then I realized the biggest dream I had to be on Oprah Winfrey show. So at the time, she had a tour all over the country. Okay. And I literally closed my eyes and I said, okay, well, what if I had all money in the world? What do I want to do? So I reconnected with the girlfriend from Seattle, paid for her and my ticket from savings, and went to see her. As we are there, we're standing, and it's a stadium, and the lines are huge because Oprah created this whole field of her favorite things. Yeah. And so we all have it's the first time me being accepted, as you shared talking to me on my platform yesterday, is that you just you create the tribe. And so this woman, she comes to us and she says she has 2 companies, one marketing agency that makes her money and makes her dead, okay, and the other agency that doesn't make her money, and if she spends 1 more cent, she's going to be divorced 2nd time. And it makes you feel alive. And she's ready. She bought big ticket, $1,000 to see Oprah. She wearing shirt of her brand. Be good to people. Like she's ready. And I literally physically take her and I go. For $200 they were selling, I don't know, makeup and jeans, wherever. What I saw, you can talk to Gail. So I dumped her I basically pushed her, and I was making up to 7 unemployment. I made $70 an hour. So I take my $200, and her $200, and we're gonna go for the membership, right? And as we standing in line, basically because of that, when she went next day to see Oprah Winfrey and Gail were wearing her shirt. Everybody was buying her shirt, and her brand was. Wow. She was on Oprah Winfrey magazine and on her Twitter and on her Instagram. Wow. And her company was born. And so from that moment, I didn't listen to my own intuition to ask her for testimonial then, and later she didn't give it to me. But from that moment, I knew that I'm not that weird and it's time to go and invest in myself. And so I went to intuitive school because my gift was suppressed by emotional abuse. So I stopped believing in myself and I started discovering. And ironically, it's a Marshall Wheeler event was the first. So I started doing everything on intuition. And so it was this program called, something around miracles. I don't even remember the name anymore. Okay. And that's where I've heard about Marshall Wheeler. And I promised myself that I would go a year later at her event. A year later, I found myself losing 45% of my income, even though I just got the best job ever because of the divorce and stuff. And so that's where you and I met. It was the first time, my first exposure to Marshall Wheeler, to the big events like that and everything. But when I saw Marshall Wheeler, I knew that I'm something like that. I didn't know what that is, but I just knew I'm something like that. And there was a woman on her graduate who was a healer, and I've been telling so I took my 401k and joined the group because I remember, but this voice inside says, "Well, luckily you don't have savings this year. You're not gonna do it." And the other voice says, "But what about 401k?" And the accounting voice, I've been accountant for 12 years, says, "Don't you even dare! Don't you even dare! You have 2 children. You're not a single girl over here." You can compare with Chris's Jones of the world. Like you have children. Right. It's not about even age difference. Right. You have children to take care of. Right. And I literally prayed. I never forget. I prayed. I said, "Dear God, show me the sign," because I could pay for private school for them with this money. Show me the sign that I have to do that. Yeah. The next morning, I get the call. It's the summer. "Hi, Veronica. She wasn't even a friend, but we know each other from synagogue." Okay. She says, "I know how you don't like how to say that you are poor, and I know how your children need help. So I signed up. So I prepared all the paperwork for going to summer camp, and I know you're not gonna take one child, so both of them can go. And I know you're not gonna talk about how poor you are, so I already did everything. You just have to call and say your name, and for $100, you're gonna have $5,000 worth of camp. And if they go 1 year, they can go for many years." And I said, "Okay, thank you, God, for sign." And it was funny how I said, "Well, I owe you healings, whatever you like." And this woman looked at me and she's like, "You think I'm doing it for you? I'm very selfish. My boy is a very good Jewish boy sharing room with him. It's the only reason I do it. What do you think I think about you?" And so that's how it started. So I joined the program. And from there everything started. So I recognized what I am. This program saved me a year of my life, 20 years of my life. I connected to a lot of very high, powerful people right away. Yeah. And I've learned. So that's what I teach people. The reason I so much believe in masterminds, because what I purchased the frequency of success and people. So I hang out for a year with people who had 40 years experience in coaching, were owners of multi-million-dollar companies, And so I've learned how to be that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, I got mentored by my business coach for that year was a man. She was taking Wall Street companies on Wall Street from bankruptcy. She was
Wow.
mentoring me for a year. Then this energy woman, I ran after her for a long time, and then finally she gave in. We're still working together up to nowadays. And then it was Marsha, because I'm a combination of coach and energy. So those two people basically I didn't know who I was, it was a discovering process. I never forget. So it was energy thing. So very quickly I realized that I know energy much more than Marsha.
Mm-hmm.
And start telling her what needs to be done differently. She didn't like it. And then on top of that, I remember this big healer who is a mentor of mine. I said, I need your help. And she says, well, I have to fix that case first. And I look, and I thought that they are being rude to me because I knew that what needs to be fixed and I couldn't understand why it takes so long. So I've learned that not everybody can do a diagnosis. Like they can heal, but they don't understand the root of the problem. My gift, I know the root of the problem. Like you talk to me like in 2 minutes.
Right.
15 minutes, I know the root of the issue. If I saw you on stage, I know all the roots of the issues. And so that's how. So I start discovering. So now I know that the gifts that I have is I can quickly know what's holding you back. I have the big vision of where you're going, and I'm very strategic. So I help you to create massive strategic actions.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. So it was really at this point where you're trying to figure out where to go next, like what's the next steps in life, and you got connected with Marsha Wieder's event, and you got tapped into your intuition, God sending you signs, moving things around that you would have never imagined, but you're being guided and being led, and then being around all these wealthy, affluent, powerful people and coaches and business owners and picking up like all that they have to share, and you're like a sponge soaking it up, and you develop that your gifts are clarity and really illuminating that for people and seeing the root cause of like what people are struggling with, rather than just here are the symptoms, like let's work together on trying to figure out what's the root cause. You're able to get to the root cause quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point though, because working with symptoms, it's not helping. So my gift is that I can help with root cause. And and you have to understand, while I was doing it, I still had a full-time job and 2 kids to take care of. So I remember that, and I was very guided, and I was paying quite a lot of donations to Christian Prophet, and I would listen to these things, and it was like, that's what probably was calling me right now. And it's I've listened to all of those things, and you have to understand I'm Jewish, so it takes I still haven't completely come out with my children and I asked that day, I said, God, how do I raise them? God says, do you raise them Jewish? I'm like, okay, I won't complain. Yeah. And so I've done a lot of things like almost in the secret. I wouldn't share the things that I've been doing. So I went on my savings and basically become an assistant to Christian Prophet and would prepare energetically space for that. So when I went to Marsha Wieder after that, I'm like, it's a joke. Why is she charging for that? Like, I can do all of those things. And this used to be the biggest secret that I would never share. So you have to kind of surrender to greatness of your destiny. And so now when you see beautiful Veronica and all those charity things on Facebook, I mean, I've earned it. I've learned how to speak to those people. I took classes, I've listened, I've learned how to do that. And none of that came to me because somebody gave it to me. It's labor, and a lot of guts. Yeah.
And I think it's so important to be willing to go through the journey and surrender to that process. So I want to get into more of what we can give to our audience today in terms of, strategies, what they can do to create clarity and move forward in their own life. What can they do, Veronica?
So you guys are very welcome to go to You Rise That Today. You have 2 gifts there. You could type join the movement, and you're gonna get a gift of I have a meditation where you are in all aspects of your life. So that creates clarity itself, and that's what I do for my Well, that's what I do one-on-one with my private students.
Okay.
And then the other one, I'm gifting you guys all with free clarity. I call it Clarity Now session, where you can talk with me. I usually talk for half an hour. I'll give your audience an hour. So you just have to say from Chris Burns. And I'll give it to you an hour. So you're going to schedule for half an hour, but keep an hour open. And we can discover what's holding you back, and what's holding you back, and what is very next for you. So you've experienced that, you've seen what that is like. Yeah. And then what you guys can do yourself. Well, first of all, you have to give yourself permission to know that something is bigger coming for you. Because very often you have to understand that maybe your unique journey is different from American dream. I had American dream, but it wasn't my dream. And sometimes dreams come with a bigger or a smaller price. In my case, I've let go of everything I knew. So number one, give yourself permission to dream big. Number two, start surrounding yourself by people who dream big. Find them on Facebook. Find them on Instagram. I've followed Richard Branson for 2 years and then had the opportunity to see him on stage. So I've learned that if you start following those people, everybody who I followed and ever desired to see them in person, I had a chance. Did I take a chance or not? It's a whole different story, but I had a chance.
I also hear, I love that you said that last little part about energetically simply following and interacting with them to be able to create dialogue. And depending on where they're at, they may or may not see those comments in those conversations. But I think Instagram, a lot of people on Instagram today are responding to people's direct messages, and seeing the direct messages that are coming into their inbox. A lot of them are, some people aren't, but really just being active.
Grant Cardone's probably don't, and
right.
Although I've seen him doing it,
right.
At least on YouTube, and Richard Branson maybe not, but many people do. Yes.
Right. And so I think it's important to also, something that you told me is like recognize that those mentors and idols and people who I once was like, oh my gosh, Richard Branson, oh my gosh, Grant Cardone, oh my gosh. Now I'm like leveling up to be at their level, and don't create an energetic connection where they're better than me or, worship them, but rather they're my peer. How can I support them? It's like the more energetically I relate to them as a peer, and how can I help them forward their mission and their cause and get the word out about that and support them, the more I open myself up to play at that level and interact with people at that level.
So what I was sharing is you have to assist where you're on your journey.
Yeah.
So very often people level of a success that you have, people don't recognize where they are on your journey. So you have to understand that your peers may be no longer your peers. Maybe now it's for you to teach you something. And maybe your mentors are no longer your mentors, they're your peers. Your heroes now are your mentors. And people that you only dream to meet are now in your sphere of influence. But it only happens when you recognize that and you fully accept it and understand it. Because people, when you meet them, they're going to feel. If you think that they are higher, you're not going to connect. I've lost a lot of connections because I have a tendency to put people on a pedestal.
Wow.
But if you take them from the pedestal and start seeing them as real people, because they still have problems.
Right.
I had the privilege to do energy work on Les Brown. He's just like all of us. He likes ice cream, I can tell you. And it cost him a lot of his health issues. And so you have to understand that they are real people. And so if you connect with them people to people and you know what's important for them and you can help them with that, here it is.
Yeah.
And I've had a post a while back. I said, the reason why I contribute my success to is to audacity to ask.
Yeah.
So here's the example of that. We shared Marshall Reader's story.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys don't know that after that, I basically lost my job and I was sick like a dog and for 3 months couldn't get up from my bed. My father paid my rent. God promised me promotion, and I said, "What kind of promotion that is?" And then I had a new friend who basically dragged me to event. She basically moved into my house and said she's gonna drive my car. And I go with her God angel, and she said we're gonna go to Ultimate Wealth Summit. I said, "Dear God, 0 times 0 is 0. I've done math. I've been math tutor and I'm accountant. Like I don't want anymore. I've seen it. I didn't like what I've seen it. I'm done." Right. So she takes me to event, and on the second day of event, out of 3 days, the least man I would ever expect with military background, black collar, gives me a check and hires me for my VIP service. Oh. And which basically covers my rent for 3 months. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, his girlfriend hired me as well. Mm. But and I prayed to God. I said, "God, either give me a job, or if you're crazy enough, give me a business." So He gives me a business, and I said, "I'm overdue for fun. Give me fun." Mm. So I ended up going on 5 different clubs with 7 very good-looking men who I know have money. So I say, "Dear God, millionaires again and no money." And God says, "Well, on cash check is no money. Go cash your check and you'll be fine." And those are not millionaires. Those are multi-millionaires. I'm like, what's the difference? How is it going to benefit me? So like, yeah, and the difference was significant because I truly believe that true power is very kind and true wealth is very quiet. And so I had audacity to go to the next day. This woman was helping me to guide me to do that. I was allowed to meet with one of these men for half an hour, and I had audacity to say, "I believe that anything is possible." And my business coach just got expired. Like I've lost that. And so I said, "I believe that anything is possible. I would like your business, you being my business mentor in any shape and form." What you guys don't know, this man has 29 companies. He charges $25,000 just to start working with him and $10,000 a month to work with him. And you have to have a multi-million-dollar company in order to do that. And believe it or not, he looks right and he looks left. He says, "I'll give you half an hour." This half an hour made me in business because this half an hour taught me things that most coaches don't know up to nowadays. And so that came from my audacity to ask. What I didn't know that this man doesn't know how to say no to women. So it worked. And he could say no, but he saw that I want to do something. He saw the light in me. Right. 3 weeks later, the owner of multi-million-dollar company hired me as her coach for 3 months. Wow. So, and she said to me, "I was worried about your Hanukkah gifts, but it was the best investment I've made." Wow.
So how do people make bold requests and these audacious requests that you make?
Simple. You smile and you ask. But how you have the courage to do that? That's what I'm going to explain right now. Yeah. I know not everybody has my smile, but you can have yours. I believe that smile is my secret weapon. And so, but I believe that you have to understand that your smile can change somebody's life. When you know that and you smile, it's a different smile. It's a power behind my smile. Wow. So how you ask audacious requests? You have to be prepared for no. And you have to understand when you ask, it's 50% of your success. If you don't ask, it's going to be 100% of no. So worst come to worst, these people will say, "Who in the world are you to ask me?" But if you ask from the right place in your mind and build a relationship with that person, they might or might not say no to you. And what I do with these people, I come and I bring value. Who can I connect you with? Who? What else can I do for you? I don't ask for anything for a long time. With this person, we bonded based on the ongoing have fun together. You want to build experiences with them and see them for people and just see them.
Yeah, so it's like really to connect with them as a human being first, like recognize that, hey, they're just a human being just like me or you.
And ask how you can bring the value. Who can you connect them with?
So deliver value up front before expecting them to.
If you deliver enough value, not all of them, but if you deliver, like I've had a relationship where I would do it for a year or 2 years, but after a while, they will come to you and say, what can I do for you? No. They will come and start talking, come to you. Yeah. Like they like to call me like you're sweet and cute. I hate when people call me sweet and cute, but that's where it comes. So I come and I say, let me connect you with so and so. It's all what I do. I don't do anything else in the beginning unless I feel it's appropriate. With this person, we were allowed to ask for half an hour of his time. And again, I wouldn't do it. This woman said, well, she knew how to network, so she taught me. I helped her to create a brand networking goddess. That she taught me. She's like, well, you can say, hey, that's. So I come and I said, hey, well, what can I have? And believe it or not, I ended up not having him as my client, but we reconnected later and he got me a ticket to something that changed my life. Like, you never know. He said, sweetheart, you here all day? I said, no, until Thursday. Oh, talk to my secretary. You can, like, $100,000 of worth of ticket. Boom. And my reaction was, I don't want it. He says, and I could hear like God says, like, you must be there. And now I know why. I was supposed to meet somebody else or reconnect. So, and with some of those people, the other thing, I used to have a mistake. You think you can close them right away or build a relationship right away. So certain people takes time. By the way, Facebook is the best place ever because they see you. I had a story where a very successful, powerful man, I would see him at the event and I knew who he is, but people usually don't remember who I am. He was doing rounds to the tables. He came to our table and he says, hi, Veronica. I said, you know my name? He's like, of course I know your name. I follow you on Facebook. And I looked, he'd been following me for a year and a half. Wow. You never know who follows you on Facebook. Founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation says, hi, sweetheart, I follow you on Facebook. And this man is probably more accomplished than even that. Yeah. And so what I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to say is that how you position yourself in your mind, that's the only thing that makes a difference. If you ever saw any reality shows, I've always asked myself, what's the difference between the person who wins and the person who doesn't? The person who wins, they just wanted it more and they saw themselves as a winner stronger than other people. That's the only difference. They were not more talented, more gifted, or more successful. They just wanted it more. And their why were higher and stronger than everybody else. So how I'm sometimes more successful than others, my why is bigger. I want it more. Yeah. Usually when you have kids, I think it strengthens that drive. Like for me, I had to grow through a phase of being really immature and like a kid and thinking everything is about me. Like I got all the time in the world. Nobody's depending on me. I'm not responsible for anything or anyone. And it's like now recognizing that my girlfriend's counting on me, our future kids are counting on me, my community, the people who I serve with podcasts and all the people that they impact. It's like really getting connected with the impact that I have, the value that I bring, just like supercharges me and gets me fired up, to actually take action and not play small, not pretend like I don't make a difference. And I think when you have all time in the world is a huge blessing. And I wish I guess I've never had that luxury. I grew up, I basically at the age of 3 been told that I have a sister and grew up. And I believe that.
Yeah.
And I haven't spoken till 3.5, so like I didn't even reply to that remark, but I remembered. And then when it was teenage years, I immigrated here. So I never had real, like the most rebellious years, it was actually my 28, between 28 to 33, and the rebellion was through divorce and 2 toddlers. And so rebellion was from Monday to Thursday when toddlers were at the dad's house, and then rebellion was over.
Right.
And my rebellion was very quietly. And so because I didn't want to bring it any shame or guilt on my family, I've done things that, no. You can date men of color, and you can change religions, and you can do a lot of things like that. And so I've done them very, very quietly, because I still have to go through my journey. And now I choose what I share and what I don't, which is the beauty of that. And so there is, any adversity has a blessing. Like I ask questions on my podcast, is that how would the adversity that you had become a blessing? I had a guy who now makes 7-figure business. He says his restaurant, he had a restaurant that burned because he spent 20 minutes going on a date. And I said, how is that? What was the biggest blessing? He's like, was my wife. Because if she could have me then without any money, I knew that she's the one. And I could hear the gasp from the room. Like, she's like, really? Like, it was such a beautiful moment. And the point of that is that there is always a blessing in a disguise. And so, yes, my children are my motivation, but they also create a lot of things that I can do that you can. Because every time I have to go to, like I spoke on 14 stages in 3 months last year, and they were not raised by me the days I left. And it's right now, I mean, I see the difference when they are in my household and they are in different households. Right. Because it's a different type of beliefs, because my family doesn't think the way Veronica thinks. And I consider, very different. So there is always ups and downs to everything. But at least I show my children that what's possible. And it's possible to live differently.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's the contrast that really helps us guide ourselves to our purpose, to what's possible. And so you get to see the contrast of what it's like when they are with another parent or in another household, and they come back to you and you're like, no, that's not what I want for my kids. I want my kids, to have self-expression, confidence, to be aligned, to trust themselves, to be, growth mindset. And it's like you get to see that and create more of a stand for what you believe in. Going back to clarity, it's like, what's the purpose? What are we standing for? What's the why?
And it could be difficult because you have to make choices for yourself, what you're standing for, and you have to sacrifice, and you have to pay the price, and you have to. It's a lot to do what I do, but my gift is that I usually broaden everybody's horizons. Anybody who just hang out with me, usually they see something bigger for themselves. That's just my gift. I show. It doesn't matter on what level of success people are. I just show that there's a whole different level.
Yeah. I love it. So is there anything that we didn't touch on yet about clarity and moving forward that you wanted our audience to know?
Well, we haven't touched it all. So clarity is a GPS to your success. So your business and your life is a journey. And when it comes to a journey, you need to know where you're going. So you're sitting somewhere, I'm sitting somewhere. We have street number, city, and a zip code. So when it comes to life and business, many people don't know what it looks like. So there is a difference between anyone else's company and companies like Uber, Google, Facebook, own Oprah Winfrey channel. Is simple. Their vision is bigger. And when you have a big vision, you can overcome temporary hurdles. And you might do moves that wouldn't make sense otherwise. So I do things very differently from other companies because I'm building something very different. So people might think that I'm coach just like everybody else. I'm not planning to do that. I'm planning to build Uber of self-development. And so you have to have, and your clarity is when you have a huge vision and you can express in 2 sentences or 3 sentences. So if you ask what I'm building, if you ask about, if you think about coffee, Starbucks comes in mind. If you think about search engine, Google comes in mind. When you think about any transition in this country, URI's movement will be there for you with physical locations and will help you through clarity, community, and change. We'll help you to create your clarity, to go through your transition and have community to move forward. See, I have a very clear vision of what I'm building. Because I know what I'm building, I'm not afraid to go to talk to those big people because they match my destiny. What's my right to talk to them? They match my destiny.
Wow.
So then I'm not scared to talk to them.
That's good.
I never forget, I talked to a guy who makes 9 figures. He was in my car. By the way, I'm terrible at driving and my car is old. And it was last year. And he's like, how in the world do you know this name and this name and this name? And I said, grace of God, how in the world you are right now in my car? Something tells me you can afford Uber and you've been waiting for 2 hours. And we were going for dinner together.
Wow.
And so it's, how am I done that? It's, yes, it's my ability to hear and listen God and do many things. And it's grace. And it comes because I understand that they don't match my income, they match my destiny. Wow. But you have to surrender to your destiny and willing to do that. Because God never says no to us. He says, yes, not now. I have something much better for you in mind. So yes, well, if God says yes, so if I say, Veronica, dear God, are you going to give me empire of transformation? God says yes. So who says no? If Veronica says, I want to be a speaker. Let's talk about speaking. God says yes. So, but Veronica says, well, I am too young. I am too old. I have an accent. And every single family member told me I'm a terrible communicator, which is true. So I'm going to listen to that, or am I going to listen to God? Then not now means that you need to learn a little bit more lessons to get to the frequency that allows you to be. Because when God says like divine timing, what divine timing is? Divine timing is what your frequency matches the opportunity. Your thought beliefs matches the opportunity. Frequency is the thoughts and beliefs. So my gift that I can take something very complicated like divine timing and put it in a very, very simple word. So it's when your thoughts and beliefs create energetical frequency like a radio station and attracts the opportunity that you want. So if not now, I remember I wanted to be in 20, so I wanted to be a speaker so I'm done with Marshall Reader in 2016 and I want to be a speaker. And I go to this, I was still at Marshall's program, I go to this guy who creates events in San Diego and I say, and I'm auditioning. He says, you're not ready. I can put you, but you're not ready. Okay. Because I knew the relationship with this man is more important than the stage. So I understood it. And a year passes by and around August we reconnect and he says, I'm you know what? I don't know why I'm saying it, but I'm going to do another event and I'm going to put you on stage. Let's meet on Monday. It's Friday, right? We're meeting on Monday. He says, I spent 3 days with my amazing mentor. He told me not to do that. So don't mention it for the next 6 months. Wow. So that's when God says, I have something much better for you in mind. And I already knew that God says, like, I'm like, okay, something better comes. And by the way, so we're talking in September. My goal was in September, by September, be on the stage. Wow. So I already know I'm not meeting my goal. So I'm letting it be. October 30th, I go to event and it's crazy things happening. I end up on December 17th, be on the second largest cruise ship in the world, speaking first time in front of Les Brown. So when God says, I have something much better for you in mind, he means that. But that means that I was have to let go of everything I knew, my Russian community, the opportunity that I was having this poor man for a year. And he's still laughing and thinks that it's cute. And then letting go and be open to something bigger to come. And I remember around end of November, December, I prayed to God. I said I couldn't see Les Brown in 2016 because I maxed with Marshall's program. I maxed all my day offs, and I worked 90 hours, so it was overwhelming. I said, I think it's time for me to meet Les Brown in person. I fought on a big stadium. God says, okay, no problem, in person and in person. Mm-hmm. And Les Brown was not supposed to be there. He was very sick. Nobody told us he's gonna be there because the person wasn't sure he was sick. It's my energy work and my alignment, and probably my prayer allowed that happen. Wow. And so it's clarity starts with understanding your big picture, surrendering, and understanding. Ask yourself where you are. Are you yes? Not now. I have something much better in mind. Not yes. Then come see me for my group program, and let's remove what's holding you back. Not now. Let's align you with the energy. I have something much better for you in mind. Let's figure out your big vision first.
Veronica, this is gold. I love it. And I love that we saved the best for last. That was all gold. I love those last like 10 minutes, just super, super juicy. So let's tell people how they can stay connected with you and what do we want them to do next?
So if you want a clarity session, you could go to www.yourrise.today, or you could just comment clarity. If you comment clarity now, and I'll connect with you. Comment clarity now. I'll connect with you and set up time. So we have a session together, and then we'll go from there. So the first session is free, and you'll just basically have a strategy of what is very next for you and what's holding you back.
Beautiful. Veronica, you are incredible. And, I had one of these sessions with you. It was definitely an experience, and just getting the clarity on where my blocks are, it was definitely valuable. So I appreciate you and what you're doing. And everyone go to yourise.today and see what you can do. I know there's some freebies that you mentioned earlier, so go get those. Comment below clarity if you want to have one of those sessions. And Veronica, let's wrap it up with the final minute to win it. Word of encouragement to someone out there who's lacking clarity, who's seeking clarity, who's on the journey, who needs to surrender to their destiny. Let's give them a word of encouragement for about a minute.
You are heard, you are seen, you are validated, and God will never give you what you can't accomplish. So you absolutely can do it, and I believe in you. I believe in your dreams.
I love it. I love it. Veronica, you're amazing. Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your wisdom, your gold, your gifts. Keep up the amazing creation, okay?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for being an amazing host.
Thank you, Veronica. I'll see you soon, okay?
Sure.